Well, looks like we have some allegations to go over today. Woo-wee! Now, I swear to God, the fact that this person has always been in some kinds of like controversy, or at least always like been a controversy surrounding them, is interesting because now it looks like some stuff just came out about them that's been a bit more substantiated. Now, I'm actually gonna say this before we get into anything. If you are genuinely being, transphobic, you do not belong in this video. You do not belong in this comment section. So you may exit right now, because I'm talking about an individual. Okay, so just want to put that out there because sometimes people find these videos as like an excuse to be, literally genuinely hateful, and I don't have time for that stuff. Okay, now trust me, I don't even like using those words, but it is what it is. Some people are actually that way, which is kind of baffling to me. But anyways, the individual that we're going to be looking at is Kris Tyson. Now, they have been on the MrBeast cruise since probably the beginning, I would say. Now, I'm not the biggest MrBeast watcher. I cannot say I watch MrBeast that often. The only video I really watched from him was the Squid Game one, and that one was just like insane how he recreated the entire game. But anyways, that is that. So, the allegations surrounding Miss Kris Tyson is the fact that they have been allegedly harboring some interesting material, and on top of that, they have also been alleged to have been DMing someone who is underaged. But we will get into both those very shortly. But let's go into the first thing I was talking about, and that is essentially the whole, keeping some interesting material. Now, many years ago, there was a artist, well, he's not dead, but he's still around, named Shadman. Now, as I'm scrolling through this channel, the reason why it is blurred is because this man literally used to post the most, like, degenerate art, like, on the planet, okay? Even when you go to his wiki, it even said that he literally went to an art school, and then what ended up happening is that they found out about his illegal portfolio, so he was quickly what's the word I was looking for? Not suspended, expelled from the school. And then he kept pursuing his online artwork after that. Now, there's been like a string of controversies with this guy, but the biggest one was around Keemstar's daughter, where there was a Tumblr post that asked, could Shadman draw Keemstar's daughter? Sorry, it's really hard to say that. Basically, doing the deal with Trump if Trump won. That's disgusting. Anyways, and Shadman ended up posting that, yes, I'm going to do it if he wins. And lo and behold, in 2016, Trump won the election. And so, naturally, he drew some rather suspicious art of Keemstar's daughter. And I believe she was around 7 or 8 at the time. So, you can tell there's something mentally wrong with this man. So that's basically a quick history of Shadman. And then later on, like a few years back, he actually got caught for, I believe, assault, according to The Sun. Now, not the most reliable source of material, but it is what it is. But I remember that picture was circling around where he got caught, at least by the police, with some assault stuff. But that's a very, 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 very brief highlight of what Shadman or Shadbase had been up to. So that's the kind of person that we are dealing with. Now, what does it have to do with Miss Tyson, you may ask? Well, Miss Tyson over here was basically asking, basically had a piece of artwork. Now, this is blurred the fuck out because one, I am not trying to catch a strike, and two, it's actually just disgusting to look at. But anyways, the person in question is along the looks of it, looks like an underage person with a gun in their mouth and having all kinds of provocative stuff on their attire. Oh god, this is actually disgusting even saying it out loud. But anyways, so this particular piece of artwork was rather endorsed by Miss Tyson. And so what you end up noticing is that there's a little video on MrBeast's channel that is called Delivering Tip Drivers $10,000. And in the middle of the video, if you actually look at it, at around the 9-minute and 30-second mark, you'll see that, oh, it's the same piece of artwork that's on there. So, you're telling me that you had that in your artwork? Like, that artwork is in your room, just sitting there. Oh my god. Gross. But anyways, that's essentially what that was. Some rather suspicious stuff. And of course, that's not the only stuff that Shadman has ever drew, but he has like a lot of stuff. And so naturally, after whatever happened to Mr. Shadman is done and done. So, whew, god damn. But to me, why would you even have that piece of artwork and then like post it in your room? Does that just like mean to you? Like, is it weird? It just sounds like to me. It's like, why? Like, that's all. This why? Just why? There's so much better artwork that you could post in your room. I literally have the Across the Spider-Verse poster hanging in my room. Like, it's a cool poster. No, I just don't understand what the point of that was, but that's essentially where we are in terms of that. Now, there's other interactions I've seen with him and Shadman, but that's the main one that a lot of people have noticed about it. And this actually ties into the second part of this video. Okay, now on to our second case, where Kris Tyson was, how do I put it? She was kind of saying some very sus messages a few years ago, or some very sus public tweets. Now, the situation on this one is that apparently this was an online friend who was 13 at the time, 13, 14, around that age. So, just in middle school probably, or just getting out of middle school, one of the two. And essentially there was some videos that were dropped where it was like, oh, by the way, this person is Kris Tyson in this case is a rather sus. Now, of course, a lot of commentary channels have been on this all this stuff, but the gist of it is that some of these tweets are rather damning. So, just to go over a few of them, this one in particular was referencing someone talking about, hey, remember this one growing up? Me too. Check it out, Shadbase. So it was about Caillou and his mom. Now, I already talked about Shadbase beforehand, and yeah, not looking good. Now, Kris underneath said, help, I need an adult. I need an adult over a Shadbase tweet? What? Yeah. So, already not looking good. Now, this ties more into the previous section, but we're just trying to get the whole picture, mind you. Now, going through some of the messages, I'm actually going to let somebody else by the name of Prism42, who actually did a whole, almost half an hour video on it. But here's a small snippet from that video, and I think it kind of wraps up some stuff that really was said by Kris. But anyways, I'll let the man speak for himself, and then we'll talk about it after.
This guy is that young, and you've been talking to him one-on-one online, you've been socializing with him, making friends. What is this comment supposed to mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that you're telling him that he needs to donate $5 so you can release your nudes or whatever, and you send him a kissy face. Now, granted, you could say that this is a joke or whatever, this is bro talk, but keep in mind, this is with someone who's 14, and this is someone who's in college talking to someone that isn't even in high school yet, really, or if he was in high school, he just joined it. Oh boy. Because what I'm seeing here is, he says, wait till my Twitch revenue comes in, winky face. So you're sending kissy faces, he's sending you a winky face, and the premise is you're trying to give him enough money so you can get his nudes. Already really weird, considering the fact that this is one of your online friends, and there's this massive age difference. And of course, it continues. He says, check again, and he tags you, I think. At least that must be you, or he's tagging you. And of course, he says, I posted some fire nudes for you, please no share. And this is someone that you're talking to that is 14 years old, that you know is 14, and at the end of the day, you cannot be talking about topics like this with someone that is this young.
Alright, so after seeing that video, you can kind of get a picture of what was going on. Mind you, these tweets were all public. And it was only, if you can tell, look at the tweets, it was directed at, that specific person. This wasn't like some big-ass thread of a bunch of people. It would still be weird and sus if it was a bunch of people, but I'm saying, the fact that it's one-on-one does not does not help anybody in this situation. Now, if you look at the dates, just for the sake of clarity, if we toss this into a quick age calculator, you'll find that, okay, Kris was born on July 1st, 1996, and you put that into the calculator, you find out that at the time that this was written, he was about, guess what, 21 years old. So, it's not looking good for him. So, as I will always say in every single situation, it's on the adult. It's to behave responsibly and not make these jokes around children. Alright? There's nothing else to it than that. There's even some other stuff that was tweeted out where I believe that, well, it was from the Snapchat where it was like, oh, I'm coming to America. It's like, and not COMING. It's the other way around. So you can fill in the blanks on that one. So, it is what it is. But I want to say this: the alleged victim actually came out and actually, because there was a lot of people talking about it, and they just said these videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. Ava never did anything wrong, and just made a few edgy jokes. I was never exploited or taken advantage of. Can you do me a favor and comment on these videos and tell them to stop spreading lies? The situation takes away from children who are actively being exploited every day online. I'm not a victim of anything being claimed in these words or at all. Now, while you may be the person who is mostly affected by this, one thing you cannot take away is the fact that this was wrong. You're chalking up to like a few edgy jokes, but there was a string of jokes. Oh, just a few. And if it was a few, it'd still be weird. But the point is, it was like a string of jokes. You can't just say it was a few edgy jokes. Now, even if you want to say you weren't exploited, that's whatever. Okay? It is what it is. And we don't really have much on that to begin with. But I'm saying is, it's still wrong. So, while you may be the person most affected, you have to be able to see it in a way that's like, this is still wrong stuff. Okay? You may not see yourself as a victim, but regardless, Kris Tyson also has a history of liking some really weird stuff, and you happen to be also in that history. So, you tell me. So, don't just, yeah. It's not so cut and dry as this person like makes it out to be. Okay? And mind you, okay, if they are an actual victim, even if they don't see it that way, I wish them the best, but I'm just saying, like, not everything is the way that you see it. Now, what does this mean for the MrBeast brand in total? I mean, I don't know what to say about it. But I guess to put it simply, what's probably going to happen, and this happened a lot, is that eventually, because so many people are covering this stuff, you're going to see some sponsors are probably going to drop them over this stuff. And keep in mind, MrBeast has probably the highest viewed videos like on the platform. So you can imagine, and Kris has been in a lot of them. So you can see that, yeah. Sponsors are gonna be like, I don't know if I want you in. I don't know if I want this person in this video. They're a little too controversial. So I mean, we saw what happened like with other people where their sponsors get dropped like immediately. They are just gone. No time to react. Nothing to really take in. It's just they say nope. We're not. Even, they say nope. Not taking chance. Nope. I'm not even gonna try it. And even innocent people, just the allegation alone will get people to be like, okay, we're getting dropped. Because it's just not worth it for the companies. So that's what I think is going to happen. Will this smear like MrBeast's reputation? Probably a little bit, because this is his friend. So naturally, it's always a guilt by association. And I mean, in the video, you see him sitting in the whatever, like the couch or whatever. You see that art piece on the wall. And let me tell you, if any of my friends have a weird art piece in their room, I'm gonna be like, what is this doing here? That should be them. But, of course, sometimes people let stuff slide because it's their friend. But it is what it is. But this is mostly on Kris Tyson, not really MrBeast. So, because she is so intertwined with the MrBeast brand that you have to understand, any brand that gets like the slightest controversy, it gets stained, no matter what it is. And mind you, people try to cancel MrBeast for like literally like giving people like clean water or something. Like, bro, this man never catches a break. So this whole controversy is just going to be an excuse for that crowd to be like, oh god, MrBeast is just a terrible person. It's like, wow, it's not even him, it's his friend. So, it is what it is. But, looking at these messages, I mean, you've seen them yourself. It's pretty gross. I mean, you shouldn't be saying that. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, lecture people on that stuff. Because, I mean, everyone knows better. Especially as an adult, you know better. But hopefully people don't take this as an excuse to just go after MrBeast and be like, oh well, I saw the whole time this white savior was hiding his friends, and the whole, I don't know, like LGBTQ plus people are after our kids, and I'm just like, ugh. I know people will take like an inch and take up and like make a mile out of it. It's like, slow down, case by case basis, people. This particular person has some very suspicious messages, and has a suspicious taste in art. So let's focus on the individual, not so much the whatever the hell everyone else is focused on. But anyways, that's basically it on this topic. What I have to really say about it? Well, I think I said my piece. It's suspicious. It's pretty gross. And that's all I had to say about it. So, if you enjoy this type of content and you want to see some more of me in the future, even though I've been away for a little bit, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you want to, and dislike if you dislike it. But that's enough out of me, so ciao!